Doctoral hooding ceremony at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Please be seated. I am Wojtek Chodzko-Zajko, Dean of the Graduate College. As a land-grant institution, the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign has a responsibility to acknowledge the historical context in which it exists. In order to remind ourselves and our community, we will begin this event with the following statement. We are currently on the lands of the Peoria, Kaskaskia, Piankashaw, Wea, Miami, Mascoutin, Odawa, Sauk, Meskwaki, Kickapoo, Potawatomi, Ojibwe, and Chickasaw nations. It is necessary to acknowledge these tribal nations and for us to work with them as we move forward as an institution. Over the next 150 years, we will be a vibrant community inclusive of all our differences, with Native people at the core of our efforts. Today, we gather to celebrate our doctoral graduates and their truly impressive accomplishments. We also want to thank the family, friends, mentors, and colleagues of the graduates who have joined us today, either in person or who are following the live stream of this event. You have been part of the broad network of support that is so important throughout the graduates' academic progress. Let's give a round of applause to all of those who have been part of this journey. I would like to introduce the members of the platform party this morning who will stand as their names are called. Please hold your applause until they have all been introduced. Andreas Kangalaris, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and Provost. Susan Martinez, Interim Vice Chancellor for Research. Loa Mwilambwe, Acting Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Lance Cooper, Professor of Physics. Laurie Reitzman, Associate Professor of Molecular and Integrative Physiology and representing the Graduate College Executive Committee. Anna Dilger, Associate Dean of the College of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences. Cheryl Hanley Maxwell, Dean of the College of Applied Health Sciences. Mark Peacher, Associate Dean of the Gies College of Business. James Anderson, Dean of the College of Education. Harry Dankowitz, Associate Dean of the College of Engineering. Kevin Hamilton, Dean of the College of Fine and Applied Arts. Alan Rainier, Dean of the School of Information Sciences. Fengsheng Hu, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Cherie Weibel, Associate University Librarian and Associate Dean of Libraries. David Irwin, Executive Associate Dean of the College of Media. Judith Rowan, Associate Dean of the Carle, Illinois College of Medicine. Peter Constable, Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine. John Hart, Executive Associate Dean of the Graduate College. Ebony Zamani Gallagher, Associate Dean of the Graduate College. Thank you for your leadership and dedication to our graduate students. It is my honor to introduce Andreas Kangalaris, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and Provost.
Good morning. It is my great honor and privilege to be present and to speak with you on this singular, monumental day in your life. I would like to thank you on behalf of our university and the state of Illinois for sharing your talent and your time, your most valuable assets with us. Without them, we cannot succeed in our mission as Illinois' land-grant flagship university. I would like to thank you on behalf of your mentors and advisors. Your aspirations and your ambitions inspired their pursuits. Your curiosity advanced their scholarship. Your accomplishments fulfilled their commitment to question the known and the familiar, to explore and to discover, to advance the human condition. And in doing so, prepared you to be the scholars, thought leaders, public servants, inventors, and innovators of tomorrow. I would like to thank you on behalf of our students for being such an integral part of their education and training. You have been their peers and their friends, and you served as advisors and role models. Their launch onto successful careers and lives wouldn't have been possible without you. I would like to thank you on behalf of our Urbana-Champaign community for sharing with us your cultural perspectives and your values, enriching our diversity and advancing our global understanding. I would like to thank you on behalf of the Academy for having embraced and demonstrated through your scholarly contributions the power of the free, curious mind. We count on you to defend it and to protect it. Under any circumstances and anywhere in the world life takes you, the well-being of humanity depends on it. I would like to thank you on behalf of the world for all the new ideas and the new knowledge that have sprung because of your dedication and hard work. They are the promise and hope for a better tomorrow for everyone. I would like to thank you on behalf of the future for all the things yet to come because of you, and for all those who you will help, lead, and inspire. Congratulations, colleagues, and good luck.
I'm very happy to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Lance Cooper. Lance Cooper is professor and associate head for graduate programs in the Department of Physics. In addition to his individual mentoring of graduate students, he has developed a number of initiatives to support graduate student professional development, including co-teaching an orientation course, launching a career seminar series, and starting a summer internship program. This work was recognized earlier this year when he was a recipient of one of the campus awards for excellence in graduate student mentoring. Dr. Cooper is a strong advocate for diversity in science. He serves as a co-principal investigator of the Sloan Foundation-funded University Center of Exemplary Mentoring at Illinois. His research focuses on optical spectroscopy of magnetic and superconducting materials. Please join me in welcoming our speaker, Lance Cooper.
Thanks very much for the introduction, and good morning, everyone. It's a real privilege for me to make comments at this very important hooding ceremony. I've been very fortunate to interact with many doctoral students as a graduate director, and I've also had the opportunity to see firsthand the remarkable accomplishments and talents of doctoral students across campus, both through courses I've taught and through fellowship committees I've served on. I know very well how difficult the path to the doctoral degree is, and I want to congratulate all of you graduates for overcoming the many challenges that are needed to attain your doctoral degrees. As a graduate director, I've also had the opportunity to see firsthand how indispensable the doctoral students are to the successful operation of the university. The graduate students are unique among the university family in that you're not only expected to be excellent students in the classroom, but many of you played essential roles teaching our undergraduates, as well as made significant contributions to the university's important outreach and service missions. All of this while accomplishing the difficult task of identifying and solving a significant original research problem for your doctoral dissertations, whether in the laboratory, the library, or the field. So I think we're here not only to congratulate you for your outstanding accomplishments, but also to thank you for the large role that you've played making this a great university. Let's again acknowledge the achievements and contributions of these graduates with a round of applause. I also wanted to thank and congratulate the family and friends of the graduates we're honoring here today, because I know that the support of family and friends is crucial to helping doctoral students successfully navigate the very often difficult path to their degrees. All of you contributed in some way to the significant accomplishments of your graduate, and so you share those accomplishments and also deserve a round of applause. So as you sit here today, having reached the end of the challenging path to the doctoral degree, some of you and your family may be wondering, what's the value of the degree you've just earned? Was all this worth it? Because after all, while many of your undergraduate peers took high-paying jobs in impressive coastal locations with companies offering lavish office views, you spent much of your 20s working 60-plus hour weeks for modest wages in labs, libraries, classrooms, cornfields, and other exotic locations. And while many of your peers earned impressive yearly bonuses and stock options, your bonuses, if you were lucky, probably came in the form of free cookies during weekly seminars. And all of this so you could be a doctor who's probably of little use in the medical emergency. So why was this road less traveled by worth it? Many of you pursued a doctoral degree simply because you are passionate about exploring a subject more deeply than an undergraduate degree could offer, or perhaps because you are interested in pursuing an academic job for which a doctoral degree is a necessary stepping stone. But for the benefit of your family and friends who may be proud that you've earned a doctoral degree, but are also wondering a little if you can actually use it to earn a living, I want to say a little bit about what the outside world, particularly potential employers, value in doctoral students. As a graduate director, I've had the opportunity to ask many alumni recruiters what they value in doctoral students, and the reasons most alumni have given for the value of the doctoral degree may surprise you a little bit. It's not just because you're all smart and talented. Those characteristics are generally assumed by these alumni. The most common reason alumni have given for the value of doctoral students are the many discipline-independent traits you demonstrated to get to this point. Because as you all now know, for your undergraduate degrees, you are expected to learn and remember everything we already know and have already put in books. But for your doctoral degrees, you are asked to solve important problems and tackle critical issues for which we don't yet have answers, and then write your own books. This extremely difficult requirement of the doctoral degree demanded a whole new set of skills from you. You had to be creative in solving important unanswered problems and become accustomed to being pushed outside your comfort zones while tackling difficult issues for which you had no manuals and limited guidance. And when confronting complex issues for the first time, it's common for the initial research directions to be dead ends. So you had to learn to accept failures and to manage your frustration and still pick yourself up and try new approaches in your research. You had to learn to negotiate effectively with collaborators and even your advisors about a whole range of issues, such as the interpretation of your results and the direction of your research project. And you had to learn how to effectively communicate the importance of your results and defend your ideas against some pretty tough critics, including reviewers, thesis committee members, maybe even friends and family members. But in the face of all of these impediments that are natural to conducting open-ended and impactful research for the doctoral degree, your smarts, creativity, passion for the important work you've devoted yourselves to, and most of all, your sheer stubbornness won out. And this is why one alumni recruiter told me this past fall that they hire doctoral students because they can give a doctoral graduate an important problem that must be solved, leave them alone for a few months, and with little guidance, they'll solve the problem. So your value as doctoral degree graduates, and the reason I really believe that you're the most important products of our university, is that we're faced with many challenging problems in all areas of society whose solution will require not only your intelligence and talents, but also your creative problem solving and the same stubborn persistence and resilience that kept you moving forward to finish your doctoral projects. And now that you've reached this important milestone, we can only encourage you to continue doing what made you successful during your graduate careers. Pursue big challenges that you care about because you've proven that you have the abilities to tackle and solve big problems when you're invested in the project. Continue pushing yourself outside of your comfort zones because that's where opportunities lie. And don't be deterred by future roadblocks because you now know that these are inevitable and surmountable consequences of solving important problems. All of us here at Illinois look forward to seeing how you use your substantial talents, tempered by the experiences you've gained during your doctoral work here, to work for positive change in whatever field you go into. Congratulations once again on this achievement, and we wish you the very best. Thank you.
Today, we recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of our graduate students who have earned the highest degree, the doctorate. Doctoral hooding is a symbolic gesture that represents the culmination of scholarly and personal achievement. It marks the transition from learner to producer or contributor in one's field. It also recognizes the extraordinary relationship between a doctoral student and a faculty mentor, because earning a doctoral degree requires dedication, inspiration, and energy from both. I can tell you from my own experience that mentoring graduate students through their journey is one of the most rewarding parts of the job. Our graduate students are at the heart of what we do, and we learn as much from them as they do from us. This is a joint celebration of the achievement of our graduate students and our graduate faculty. Can we please have a round of applause for our outstanding graduate faculty? Illinois has a long history of excellence in graduate education. We awarded our first 2 Doctor of Philosophy degrees in 1903, one in chemistry and one in mathematics. Since that time, we have awarded doctoral degrees in fields ranging across a full spectrum of disciplines: the arts, sciences, humanities, social sciences, education, and engineering, to students from all 50 states and many, many countries around the world. Our graduate students pursue and excel at careers in research, in education, in industry, in the creative arts, in government, in nonprofits, and many, many more professional sectors. The graduates celebrated here today join generations of distinguished alumni who are leaders and innovators impacting the lives of people around the world. I am confident that these graduates, with their commitment and perseverance, will use their knowledge and expertise to shape our future in profound ways. It is now my honor to present our graduates. When I call your name, please approach the hooding area with your mentor. If you have not designated a person to hood you, Dr. Laurie Reitzman will hood you. After you have received your hood, continue across the stage to be congratulated by Provost Kangalaris and the Dean of your college. You may then return to your seat and be seated. Members of the audience, please kindly hold your applause until all of the graduates have crossed the stage. We will now recognize graduates from the College of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences. I now welcome Associate Dean Anna Dilger from ACES to come forward. Anne Perry Whitmer, Doctor of Philosophy in Agricultural and Biological Engineering, hooded by William Washabaugh. Bailey Harsh, Doctor of Philosophy in Animal Sciences, hooded by Dustin Bowler. Martin Overholt, Doctor of Philosophy in Animal Sciences, hooded by Anna Dilger. Rebecca Stokes, Doctor of Philosophy in Animal Sciences, hooded by Daniel Scheich. Gabriel Vasconcelos Pereira, Doctor of Philosophy in Animal Sciences, hooded by Isaac Kahn. Megan Hollis, Doctor of Philosophy in Animal Sciences, hooded by Phil Cardoso. Wei-Non Zhou, Doctor of Philosophy in Animal Sciences, hooded by Megan Daly. Jessica Boubert, Doctor of Philosophy in Crop Sciences, hooded by Stephen Moose. Nicholas Heller, Doctor of Philosophy in Crop Sciences, hooded by Stephen Moose. Sita Thapa, Doctor of Philosophy in Crop Sciences, hooded by Nathan Schroeder. Kirsten Birding Harold, Doctor of Philosophy in Nutritional Sciences, hooded by Sharon Donovan. We will now recognize graduates from the College of Applied Health Sciences. I now welcome Dean Cheryl Henry Maxwell from AHS to come forward. Bryn Adamson, Doctor of Philosophy in Kinesiology, hooded by Melissa Littlefield. Gabriella McLaughlin, Doctor of Philosophy in Kinesiology, hooded by Amy Woods. Martha Sherrill, Doctor of Philosophy in Speech and Hearing Science, hooded by Julie Hengst. We will now recognize graduates from the Geese College of Business. I now welcome Associate Dean Mark Peacher from Geese to come forward. Yifan Wei, Doctor of Philosophy in Business Administration, hooded by Jeffrey Love. We will now recognize graduates from the College of Education. I now invite Dean James Anderson from Education to come forward. David Conrad, Doctor of Education in Educational Organization and Leadership, hooded by Donald Hackman. Taylor Imani Andelisa Gates, Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Policy Studies, hooded by Ruby Mendenhall. Dave Grant, Doctor of Philosophy in Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership, hooded by Bill Cope. Serena Preston, Doctor of Education in Educational Organization and Leadership, hooded by Anjula Welton. Fauzia Rahman, Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Policy Studies, hooded by Linda Herrera. Shalonda Randall, Doctor of Education in Educational Organization and Leadership, hooded by Anjale Welton. Kimberly Walker, Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Policy Studies, hooded by William Trent. We will now recognize graduates from the College of Engineering. I invite Associate Dean Harry Dankowitz from Engineering to come forward. Olivia Kangalaris, Doctor of Philosophy in Bioengineering, hooded by Martha Gillette. Cameron Herrig, Doctor of Philosophy in Bioengineering, hooded by Michael Insana. Elizabeth Joachim, Doctor of Philosophy in Bioengineering. Guillermo Monroy, Doctor of Philosophy in Bioengineering, hooded by Stephen Bopart. Lucas Smith, Doctor of Philosophy in Bioengineering, hooded by David Smith. Mohammed Zahid, Doctor of Philosophy in Bioengineering, hooded by Andrew Smith. Lopamudra Baumik, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering, hooded by Cassandra Rutherford. James Bittner, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering, hooded by John Popovics. Aymin Halabia, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering. Zhuan Mei, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering, hooded by Cassandra Rutherford. Andrew William Mock, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering. Alexander Pagnata, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering, hooded by Ashley Pagnata. Raphael Stern, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering, hooded by Daniel Work. Sierra Young, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering, hooded by Joshua Peschel. Shan Zhao, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering, hooded by Imad Al-Qadi. Amanda Bentz, Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science, hooded by Luke Olson. Ji-Ho Choi, Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science, hooded by Joseph Terellas. Apollo Isaac Orion Ellis, Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science, hooded by John Hart. Chase Geigel, Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science. Jai Jun Lu, Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science, hooded by David Forsyth. Shua Chao Yao, Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science, hooded by Tariq Abdel Zahir. Orla Ula Ajala, Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical and Computer Engineering. Dong Sang Choi, Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical and Computer Engineering, hooded by Michael Louis. Philip Pare, Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical and Computer Engineering, hooded by Gare Delarud. Timothy Phillip, Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical and Computer Engineering, hooded by Matthew Gilbert. Caitlin Race, Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical and Computer Engineering. Elad Yarkoni, Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical and Computer Engineering. Megan Amy, Doctor of Philosophy in Material Science and Engineering, hooded by Jessica Krogstad. Nicole Johnson Glau, Doctor of Philosophy in Material Science and Engineering, hooded by Jeffrey Herman. Jejun Lee, Doctor of Philosophy in Material Science and Engineering, hooded by Nancy Sotos. Chris Montgomery, Doctor of Philosophy in Material Science and Engineering, hooded by Nancy Sotos. Caitlin Tyler, Doctor of Philosophy in Material Sciences and Engineering, hooded by Paul Braun. Raymond Essick, Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering, hooded by Gare Dularud. Hamidreza Jafarnazad, Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering, hooded by Neira Hovakimian. Alberto Hernandez, Doctor of Philosophy in Theoretical and Applied Mechanics, hooded by Donald Scott Stewart. Keegan Moore, Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering, hooded by Alexander Vakakis. Ki-Wang Nan, Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering. Randy Patekin, Doctor of Philosophy in Theoretical and Applied Mechanics, hooded by Alexander Vakakis. Chen Chao Shou, Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering, hooded by Matthew West. Nicholas Tobin, Doctor of Philosophy in Theoretical and Applied Mechanics. Dong Hee Park, Doctor of Philosophy in Nuclear Plasma and Radiological Engineering, hooded by James F. Stubbins. We will now recognize graduates from the College of Fine and Applied Arts. I invite Dean Kevin Hamilton from FAA to come forward. Ji-Yeon Choi, Doctor of Musical Arts in Music, hooded by Linda Morehouse. Mikael Combs, Doctor of Musical Arts in Music, hooded by Linda Morehouse. Nicole Del Giorno, Doctor of Musical Arts in Music, hooded by Dana Robinson. Shauna Lehman, Doctor of Musical Arts in Music, hooded by Chester Owls. Yu-Ting Lee, Doctor of Musical Arts in Music, hooded by Chester Owls. Shannon Eplet, Doctor of Philosophy in Theatre, hooded by Valerie Robinson. We will now recognize graduates from the School of Information Sciences. I invite Dean Alan Rainier from the iSchool to come forward. Joseph Yoon, Doctor of Philosophy in Informatics, hooded by Brittany Duff. Ka-Yun Choi, Doctor of Philosophy in Library and Information Science, hooded by Stephen Downey. We will now recognize graduates from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. I invite Dean Fengsheng Hu from LAS to come forward. Mary Patricia Rogers, Doctor of Philosophy in Anthropology, hooded by Ripan Mali. Derica Carol Smith, Doctor of Philosophy in Atmospheric Sciences, hooded by Jeff Trapp. Lu Chen, Doctor of Philosophy in Biochemistry, hooded by Robert Jennis. Wei Hao Ge, Doctor of Philosophy in Biophysics and Computational Biology, hooded by Eric Jacobson. Evan Mertz, Doctor of Philosophy in Biophysics and Computational Biology, hooded by Suzanne Mertz. Malek Ibrahim, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemical Engineering, hooded by Paul Kennis. Bailey Jackson, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry, hooded by Alison Fout. Michaela Yoder, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry, hooded by Andrew Geeworth. Erin Chandler, Doctor of Philosophy in English, hooded by Robert Barrett. Miles Meza, Doctor of Philosophy in Biology, hooded by Ken Page. Zainab Hermes, Doctor of Philosophy in Linguistics. Melinda Higley, Doctor of Philosophy in Geology, hooded by Jessica Conroy. Chelsea Lloyd, Doctor of Philosophy in Microbiology, hooded by Carrie Vanderpool. Thomas Mand, Doctor of Philosophy in Microbiology, hooded by William Metcalf. Miriam Bonyadi Camacho, Doctor of Philosophy in Neuroscience, hooded by Thomas Anastasio. Shor Khan, Doctor of Philosophy in Neuroscience. Emily Tillmand, Doctor of Philosophy in Neuroscience, hooded by Conley Zommermand. Thomas Lassie, Doctor of Philosophy in Political Science, hooded by John Vasquez. Matthew Powers, Doctor of Philosophy in Political Science, hooded by John Vasquez. Matthew Moore, Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology, hooded by Florin Dolkos. Lauren Nichol, Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology, hooded by Brent Roberts. Emily DiFilippo, Doctor of Philosophy in Spanish, hooded by Luisa Elana Delgado. We will now recognize graduates from the College of Media. I now welcome Executive Associate Dean David Irwin from Media to come forward. Mandy Troger, Doctor of Philosophy in Communications, hooded by John Neron. I thought we were going to get through the ceremony without disruptions, and you just blew it. We will now recognize graduates from the College of Veterinary Medicine. I invite Dean Peter Constable from Vet Medicine to come forward. Kaylin Herzog, Doctor of Philosophy in Veterinary Medical Science, Comparative Biosciences. Please join me in congratulating all of our graduates. Graduates, we commend you on reaching the pinnacle of academic achievement. Your Illinois family is immensely proud of your accomplishments and takes great pride in calling you our alumni. I'm certain that your future will be shaped by the very same passion and dedication that led you to earn your Illinois degree. Before we conclude today's ceremony, I want to thank the Aduro Brass for their musical selections today. Audience members are asked to please remain seated for the recession. Following the recession of the graduates and faculty, please meet your graduates in the lobby. Thank you again for being here, and thank you to those watching by live stream for joining us today. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.